3 comic books in my collections, episode number 22. We have The Snake in Paradise in issue number 1821, The Stone Carving People in issue number 1822, and we also have Rose of the Red Dragon Part 2 in issue number 1823. So let's get into it. 3 different covers for 3 different books, and I hope you enjoy episode 22 and another look at some really great comics. The first issue, as I said, we're going to be having a look at Snake in Paradise, and the cover for this one is done by Jeremy McPherson. He's colorist Thomas Mason. Now, I've done many episodes in this series, and this series and the books that I look at in this series, they are not reviews. I'm not reviewing these comic books because I either haven't read them. In this case, I've read these ones, but I don't remember half the storyline to it. So we're just going to be having a look at them. We're going to be talking about the book, what sort of, if I have any stories maybe, and we will also be having this series is also a big emphasis on the art that's within this book, and that is why that this series and the episodes I do in this series are not considered reviews. I don't consider them reviews. I just have a look at books and comic books that are in my collection from years gone past. This story was done by Klaus Murphy and Cesar Spadari. On the outset, great art, because Cesar Spadari, obviously, I'll say this again because he's a legend. His artwork and the stories that he worked on throughout his career are legendary. And Cesar Spadari unfortunately passed away a few years back, and it was really a big loss to the Phantom world. It was definitely a big loss to when he used to work on however many Sweden and Norwegian type stories that he had worked on through his probably 30 or 20 years, 20 to 30 years in his career in this industry. And his work just shows you why he's so great. His artwork is still admired around the world by many Phantom fans around the world. And unfortunately, he passed away a couple of years ago, and that was really sad, because at the same time, roughly at the same time that Cesar Spadari had passed away, that another dude who is the writer for this story, Klaus Murphy, had passed away as well, which was that shook many people to their soul, and that put earthquakes and earth ripples all around the world, and people to this day are still sad that Klaus Murphy, Cesar Spadari, however many stories that they worked on, they are still remembered today, and they're still admired by many around the world. And it's still very sad now talking about it years later and looking at the story that we have today. It's still very sad. So definitely rest in peace, Cesar Spadari and Klaus Murphy, because they are legends. They will never be forgotten, because their stories will still be with us. Is that what I think it is? Is that a dodo bird? Really? Is that a dodo bird? I thought they were already extinct. I thought they were made into a chicken schnitzel. A dodo schnitzel? Come on, Brad. Come on, Brad. Don't stop thinking about food. Look at that strange thing. Am I imagining it? Looks like a dodo. But they have been extinct for hundreds of years. I don't understand this. If a few survived on this island, gosh, in that case, they are worth their weight in gold once I've caught them. You don't mind if I take a closer look at it? Who are you? Don't worry about who I am. Just make sure you open the chest. I see the lock is broken. It's empty. Someone must have been here before us. Damn it. Are you kidding me? Nobody fools with me, guys. Stop it. Let the kids be. Huh? I'm warning you, stay back, stay away. No, don't hurt them. They are just boys. So you want to play hero, huh? I hate heroes. Do as I say, I'll count to 3. 1, 2. I can't let this happen. Drop the knife or I'll shoot. Huh? You're too funny, kid. That gun is at least 300 years old. It is. Do you really think it still works? Ba-bang. Come back, you rascal. Forget the boy, and now it's you and me. Hoo-hoo. Oh, yes. Just look at Steg. Stego. Huh? Get lost. Don't come any closer, you ugly monster. Mate. He's not an ugly monster. He's just a dinosaur that somehow is still alive. And he's came from the dailies and isn't really that liked by many people around the world. But many other people still like him. And now he's in prison, wouldn't you know? And he's telling people about this supposed crazy story. You don't think we're going to fall for such a crazy story, huh? But it's true. I promise. I know the island is there. I couldn't have imagined all of that, or did I? Just me. I feel like there's another story to that. I feel like if this dude ever gets out of prison, surely he's going to go and try and have a look to see if he can try and find this island again. And this island is no island. This island does not exist. Do not watch this video clip or you may find it. Oh yeah, and we also have the Heart of Darkness. This chapter series went on for so long. It did for the time that it was getting published in. It went for so long, but then it ended a couple of years ago, and I don't entirely know if people actually thought, after the next issue came out, I don't entirely think people noticed, no Darker Heart of Darkness. It must have ended. Like, I was one of those people where you're so used to seeing the Heart of Darkness, and then at some point it was going to run out. There was going to be no fill-in stories, and that's why a few publications has to now create those filler stories or have a story that runs for 34, 32 pages, 33 pages, and if they find one, they're going to use it. But if they don't, if they have a 21 page, however many story page it is, they gotta have to fill it with something, or we're just going to be buying a 22-page Phantom comic book, and not a lot of people are going to be happy about that. Why not get 2 stories for the price of however much it costs these days? I think it costs $4. $4. $4. Was it $4.40 or something to get a Phantom comic? Latest one came out in the last week or so. I know it came out yesterday. No, yeah, last week. By the time this comes out, it probably came out a few weeks ago. We also have the forum, letters, comments, social media, emails. Then we have these guys. These sold out so damn quickly. Like, you had to be on the ball and getting them ordered to you. I was one of the people that ordered these bags. I didn't have anything to do with the boards because I wasn't quick enough. I had the bags, and I was ordering them every time I ran out of bags. And I was ordering them, and I don't order them anymore because I found a better alternative. Brad finds a better alternative and learns more about comics than he did when he was buying these. Isn't that such greatness there? I also don't have this because I thought about it. I thought about ordering it, and then I thought, hang on a sec. I've got all the comics that are in there, so why should I have to buy Kid Phantom? Like, it was a great idea to get a little kid Mandrake and have him in Kid Phantom. It was a great idea at the time. This series started in 2017. I have every comic in this series, and I don't have a need for a Kid Phantom collection number 1. And also, this series ran for 10 issues, I'm pretty sure. But this book here, there's only one collection. There's not another second collection. So, will few publications ever do a second collection of Kid Phantom? I don't know. I seriously, I don't think so. But it's still yet to see. It seems if there is the popularity for it and it sells well, then they're going to make it. And if it doesn't sell well, then you've got your answer right there. Okay, now we have the Stone Carving People issue number 1822, and this actually happens to be Grange Wallace's first cover. I can actually say this because this cover and this book, I own 2 of them. Because I thought, that cover looks so damn good. It's the first cover that Grange Wallace, this new artist, that has ever done. And I thought, hang on a second here. It's his, me thinking, comic book wise, that's the first appearance of a cover artist. I'll get 2 of those. And then later on, I think it was a year or 2 after that, I got Grange Wallace to sign one of the comics. So I now have a signed Grange Wallace comic and another replacement for it. Woohoo! Brad is thinking ahead. I might actually have to do a post about this when this video comes out. Not before, because we don't want to be spoiling things. The Phantom, the Stone Carving People. This story was done by Don Avenell, and the art is done by Heiner Bade. This story was first published by Egmont Scandinavia in number 6 back in 1982. My young self trying to say something back in other past tense. 1982. That means at the time of me looking at this book and this story that was republished a few years back, by the time I'm looking at this in this current year, this story essentially, when it was originally published in 1982, and we're in 2024, this story is 42 years old. Wow, this story is 4 decades old. Ha ha ha. I say that, and someone in the comments was saying, hey, ease up a bit, we're not that old. When you just put an extra long word on a year date, doesn't mean nothing. Does not mean nothing. Oh, it's like, oh, the 50-year-old person there. Oh, he's 5 decades old. Oh, no, Brad. No, that doesn't mean nothing. Age is just a number, they say. I think I quite enjoyed this story because it has stuff to do with sort of like the island of Enden, like we'll have a look here. Hey, we remembered! Island of Enden! No, we don't want people to come to this video and say, oh, there's the island of Enden. I need to go get that dodo bird and turn it into a dodo schnitzel. No, we don't want that to be happening. But I think I like stories like this because it's fun. You get to see if it was to happen in the real world and you come across this mysterious thing in the real world. No one else has discovered this ever before. And you find it, and you're the first person to find it, and then somehow it gets out into the media, and there's all these people coming and trying to see what you just found. And then gets turned into a movie and turned into books. Oh, we're in a different world now. And yeah, these worlds where you find something that hasn't been discovered before probably doesn't exist. This is just a story. But it's fun to think that there could be other stuff out there that hasn't been discovered yet before. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to read stories like this, I think. Because you know you're not going to find something like this ever. And then someone creates a story like this. It's good fun. But yeah, I'll just say something about the art. The artwork is pretty good. Artwork's pretty good for obviously to do with the time period that this is set in and the way the story is done. And what the story is about, obviously. I already talked about that. I have this. We reviewed it, and I'm yet to. I was actually having a look at some of the series before, and I've noticed that I haven't even reviewed the trade paperback that goes with the Phantom video game. What have I been doing? Right, and we now have The Rise of the Red Dragon Part 2, issue number 1823. This cover was done by Jason Borlows. Another really great artist. I think when I first saw his work, I was a bit, I don't know if I like this person's work, but he eventually grew on me. Yeah, I said it. I don't think I entirely really, I think it was just all the different colors on the covers. It was just a little bit too much, and then it grew on me because you get older and you appreciate things that you didn't when you're a bit younger. Younger, I'm saying that like I'm old. Oh god. Rise of the Red Dragon Part 2. This is an original story, by the way, and the first part, Rise of the Red Dragon Part 1, was first published in Few number 1813. And we had a look. I'm pretty sure we already reviewed this comic book on the channel at some point, but now I'm looking at it again. So, what do you know? Falcon comes in out of the nowhere and goes, flap, flap, he's here. Who's here? Shriek, I don't know. It's the Phantom. That's who. Shriek, I don't know. Shriek, I don't know. It's the Phantom. And there we go. See, Phew, 1781, The Red Dragon Pirates Part 1. I actually have that issue. Of course you do, Brad. Yeah. All three of those covers. The first one's done by Antonio because I love that cover. The second one's done by Jamie Johnson, which sometimes I forget. And the third one is done by Chris Wall. He's pretty good. We haven't seen a cover by Chris Wall for a good while. I wonder why that is. I don't know, unfortunately. The Phantom, Heart of Darkness, Chapter 5, Part 2, The Ark of the Covenant. The story was done by Klaus Ray Murphy, the art was done by Joan Boyce, and the editing was done by the legendary Ulf Granberg. Joan Boyce has a new story out, by the way. And a new cover out, which looks pretty amazing. Got this big, massive alien just here. But we're talking about this story. I just wish someone in Australia could just collect all of the Heart of Darkness series. And I wish they could just put it in a trade paperback. Many people have said it, Brett. Many people have said it. But nothing's been done until the Swedens went and did it. You wish a lot of things, but it doesn't come to fruition sometimes. And you get frustrated, and that's how we work. We work when we're frustrated. No, we don't. Okay, I hope you enjoyed having a look at these three Phantom comics in the 22nd episode of the My Collection series. And as always, stay safe, keep Phantom caving, and please subscribe. We make some really great videos. There's some really great additions to these series that are coming very soon. And if you haven't already looked at the past episodes in this series and many other series, please go and do, because they are some of the greatest episodes and it's the greatest videos that I've ever made. The early ones not so much, but we get there. We evolve. Brad evolves. Anyways, stay safe, keep Phantom caving, and you'll see me next time on the YouTube channel.